two of them. Oh, there's contact. There's contact. And there's contact between Cheryl Powell and Campbell Pilling. Good morning and welcome to round 4 of the Daniel Ricciardo Series. We're just slap bang in between Cheltenham and Oxford here at Little Rissington, the old RAF airbase, one of the fastest circuits on the calendar. 8 corners, just around about 1,000 metres of tarmac for the drivers to navigate their way around this weekend. We are live on Facebook and on YouTube, giving people the opportunity to see all the action here on a blisteringly hot, sunny July day. That is the circuit that the drivers will have to find their way around for their qualifying session, their heat, their pre-final and their grand final today. Let's have a closer look at what Little Rissington has to offer.
So here we are on a lap of Rissington, just getting ready for the academy. Into the first corner. This corner's flat out, get next to the curb, run just over onto the curb on the left hand side, don't turn in too early here, little lift, get the kart straight in the middle here, and then just turn in for the middle loop, push the gas but stay quite tight on the exit so you don't slide. Top bend, turn in late, get next to the curb on the exit and run wide just onto the rumble strip, and now flat out down to the dogleg. Look for the braking, brake straight, late, don't turn in too early. Your front left wheel just misses the curb there, and your right front just here. Let the kart run out to the left hand side. Now these 2 corners flat out, absolutely flat out, keep smooth on the wheel. 1 turn all the way through here, get next to the curb, don't run too wide onto the rumble strip. Look for the braking cone, late turn in here, a little bit, dab on the brakes, turn in late, don't hit this curb and don't hit that curb. Let the kart just straighten up, follow round and on to another lap, absolutely flat out.
A view of the Rissington circuit there by Andy Cox, a man who knows a thing or two about fast laps around Rissington and winning races around Rissington as well. So round 4, we've already been to the deep south at Clay Pigeon for round 1. We've been to the Midlands at Wilton Mill for round 2. We've been to Wales, which is where we were just around about a month ago. And now we are here for round 4. So this is the turning point of the season. Once we get through today's racing, we will be past halfway. We then head over to the south of Wales at the end of August to Landau for round 5 before we head back up to the northwest and Houghton Park in September for round 6, and it will all come to a dramatic conclusion at Fulbeck in Lincolnshire at the end of October, where the weather certainly won't be as it is here today. It is blistering hot. We're certainly tipping around 28, 29 degrees yesterday. Something similar expected today, although there is quite a breeze here at Rissington as the drivers look for any last bits of shade they can get their hands on. That's why you'll see the umbrellas, not through the rain, but through the hot weather. Interestingly, when we were here last year for the Daniel Ricciardo Series in 2021, mid-pandemic, it was also blisteringly hot here at Little Rissington. So our senior drivers are just around about a minute or so away from the start of their session. Let's see what qualifying tactics are in force from our DRS125 drivers this weekend. In terms of the championship, very open here. We've had lots of different race winners. We've had lots of drivers showing pace at one circuit, maybe not quite as much pace at another. So it'll be interesting to see who has or can take the advantage this weekend. 15 DRS125s with us. The only amendment to the schedule is Ralph King, who was the Club 100 guest driver, who suffered an injury yesterday, and therefore isn't out there in the field today. Championship leader is Tom Snape, 633 points. Oliver Owen is just 8 points behind with 625, and then Mark Lawrence is only another 5 points behind him with 620. They're your top three in the championship. But lots of drivers with an ability to win races, to win heats, pre-finals and finals, and to be fastest out there as well. We've seen good pace from Firas Belbezi here at Rissington. He's the DRS plate holder, won here at Rissington. You know that Jack Rigg has shown good pace at certain times during the year. Ben Gartside as well. So plenty of drivers to take note of, and we'll see how many of them can be the early pace setters here for the qualifying session for the DRS125s. From here we go into a heat for each of the classes. The DRS 100 Group A heat is 12:25, 12:45 for the Group B, 5 past 1 for the DRS 62 heat 1s, and then 25 past 1 for the heat 2s. And then we'll have a short 25-minute lunch break before all the pre-finals. And of course, the main finals get underway this afternoon. So Kurt Foundry is the early pace setter. He did the fastest outlap of 42.9. Ben Gartside and Firas Belbezi. Let's see who has pace. Once they've just settled into a routine here, I would say the temperature's probably just dropped a little bit. It has become rather overcast now. Who is that? So JJ McGinn with a problem. Where is he? He stood on the exit of the dogleg at the moment, on the way down to Bottom Bend. But that doesn't look like it. Oh, and this is a driver just going out for the session, which is Tom Snape. Elliot Stanley still to go out as well. And Elliot Stanley does complete his first flying lap. He was just a little bit later out onto circuit than the others. A 42.9 on his outlap. Belbezi now fastest, 42.7 on his second lap. This will change every lap or so for a few. And then we'll start to see the degradation from the tyres. So this is a real key point in this DRS 125 session. This is the moment where one really good lap could really set you up when everybody else starts to drop off the pace ever so slightly. There's 5 drivers in the 42s. Belbezi, Foundry. Elliot Stanley's gone fastest in, and I said the 42s, 42.6 for Elliot Stanley on his second flying lap. He's just around about 7/100ths of a second faster than Firas Belbezi. Kurt Foundry a 42.8 in third, Tom Snape a 42.8 in fourth, and Jack Rigg a 42.8 in fifth. Very close indeed. And then Ben Gartside a 42.9 as Snape moves up into third. So Stanley, Belbezi and Snape, and then Oliver Owen. So on his first flying lap, a 46.6. Now that is very fast on your first flying lap. That's effectively an outlap for Oliver Owen. He's gone fastest of all. See if he can go faster on his second, his actual first flying lap. Let's see if he goes faster still. No, you would suggest he's not going to, because he's had to dispatch of a slower runner there. So if this is faster, he really has got things hooked up very nicely indeed, Oliver Owen. What does he do on his second lap? He does a 42.6. Now imagine that without the back marker. This could be very fast. If he hooks this up now, this could be very fast. He might come across another back marker. What I would say is Oliver Owen undoubtedly very fast, but they haven't actually put him on circuit in clear air, have they? They haven't really found a slot for him to come out without catching up on some traffic. He might just get away with it this time round. The driver who was in front has slowed down rapidly and he's got past him. So let's see, could he duck under 42.5 here, Oliver Owen? It's his third lap out there. First really clear one. What's he done? Yeah, 42.5, 5.98. So he doesn't go under 42.5, he does a 42.5. He's a 10th quicker than Elliot Stanley, who has done his personal best as well, 42.699. And then Ethan Critchley, his personal best, 42.769. So very, very little between, say, first and, well, there's 0.2 of a second covering the top 5. So if that's anything to go off, it could be in for something very interesting indeed in the DRS125 first heat. So Owen, Stanley, Bilbesi, Critchley and Snape are the top 5 of them. Kurt Fordry, 42.8 is around about 3/10 slower than Oliver Owen. As the rest of them all stream through. Now then, there's been 4 laps complete. Well, so what does the likes of Oliver Owen do now? He's done a 42.6 last time. He's just dropped off the pace a little bit. Does he say, right, 4 laps, I've had my go? He's going to come around again and try and complete another lap. Can he go any faster? I think they're just getting to that point where the tyres are just starting to drift away from them. What's he done this time? 42.6, yeah, he's not going any faster in clear air. So I think Elliot Stanley's also coming to the pits now. I think Ethan Critchley's done the same, so there's no real point in circulating out there at the moment unless you have evidence or a feeling that you are going faster and you can make inroads on those top times. So Bilbesi, 3rd fastest, Ben Gartside, 4th fastest. In fact, Ben Gartside on lap 8 has booked the trend here, because he's done his fastest lap of the race, so of the qualifying session, 42.735, which is, well, it's just about 0.2 slower than Oliver Owen, but it's his personal best. It moves him up from 8th to 4th, and Ethan Critchley drops to 5th, and Tom Snape drops to 6th, and Kurt Fordry to 7th. So Tom Snape, championship leader, 6th fastest, only 6th fastest at the moment. They're going to have to go back to the drawing board, just find a little bit more time for Tom Snape. Jack Riggs, 7th fastest, 42.8 for him, and Kurt Fordry now 8th, and James Lane now 9th. And a lot of them are abandoning session, aren't they? A lot of them are not attempting to put in any more flying laps. We've still got 2 minutes of the session left, so they can keep going out there, but there's only 5 or 6 of them of the 15 runners who are choosing to remain on circuit. And one of them is Tom Snape, because he probably knows that he just needs a little bit more pace. He needs a couple of positions would just put him up with the top group. But he's really struggled to find that pace as the number 6 of Jack Rigg goes through to complete another lap, and has now Tom Snape abandoned the session. He has. I've just seen him go into the pits as we look at Ben Gartside, who is the 4th fastest driver. I think he's probably finished for the morning as well, as he slows right down into... held a couple up there. They certainly held one up as he went into the dog leg. But he has finished his qualifying session as well. So the last remaining runners, the DRS plate of Firas Bilbesi is getting lots of laps in. He's done 11 laps, but you compare him to Elliot Stanley, so they've only 0.07 of a second between the two of them in terms of fastest lap. But how significant will the fact be that Elliot Stanley has done 4 laps on his tyres and Firas Bilbesi has done 11 laps on his tyres? So there's a 6-7 lap swing to be had there. In terms of the tyres, will they come around and complete another lap? They've still got a minute or so to get some times in, but there's only 4 of them circling at the moment. And now Bilbesi comes into the pits, but he's put 11.5 laps onto those tyres. Be interesting to see how significant that may be as we get Only now the number 6 of Jack Riggs still circulating out there. He's done 12 laps on his tyres. The fastest man of them all, Oliver Owen, 6 laps completed, 42.598. So he's got just around almost exactly a tenth of a second over Elliot Stanley. So it is close, and it certainly won't do Oliver Owen's championship challenge any harm at all, because Tom Snape all the way down in 6th fastest. So immediately, Oliver Owen will have taken some of those points back in terms of the championship. So that's our 4 qualifying sessions done. Our 3 classes have all qualified. We now turn our attention to the first race of the day, Heat 1 for the DRS 100s, Group A. We're led by Daniel Weir, who was fastest in their qualifying session earlier on today. That race is due off at around about 25 past, so 8 or 9 minutes to go until the start of that first heat for the DRS 100s. And we'll be back in a few moments' time with all the information leading to our first race of the day. So the DRS 125s, our senior drivers, with our final race before we break for lunch here. And they're led out by Oliver Owen, courtesy of him being the fastest driver in the qualifying session this morning. He was very fast as well, only did 4 laps on his tyres. Elliot Stanley second in qualifying. He'll line up alongside Oliver Owen on the grid. And from a championship perspective, keep an eye on Tom Snape, the number 4. Going to start a little bit further back in this race. A little bit of work to do for him. So 2 formation laps, as there has been for every other driver. Gives them a chance to settle into a routine. So front 2 then. Owen and Stanley. Who will get into that first corner first? Will it be somebody from a little bit worse? It's not the best of starts. It's a very straightforward start for Oliver Owen. I wonder if he just didn't get the group. Oh, he's under some pressure though, isn't he? Oliver Owen made a great start, and then Bill Basie from nowhere just tucked up the inside, and all of a sudden has kept Oliver Owen very honest on the first couple of corners. It looked like he got a really straightforward start. It certainly looked as if Elliot Stanley just hadn't got anywhere near the drop of the lights and lost a couple of places, and all of a sudden, from being really comfortable, Oliver Owen all of a sudden was under loads of pressure and has lost the lead. So here they come then. We've got a couple that are involved in incidents around the circuit as well, so we'll sort them all out as they come round to complete their first lap. And it is indeed the DRS of Firaz Bill Basie, who was ever the opportunist, wasn't he? Just to slip down the inside almost when Owen had thought he had a really comfortable start to this. Got a problem there for the 315 as well. 315? Driver has stopped. It might be JJ McGinn, is it? Who has stopped. Oh no, it's not. It's the 311 of Kurt Fordry. So Fordry with something that looks pretty terminal. And he's parked up the wrong way down the start-finish straight, but not as part of the circuit that is being used today. So we've got a 5-car battle for the lead here, led by Firaz Bill Basie, Oliver Owen, Elliot Stanley, Tom Snape and Ben Garside are all absolutely in this at the moment, the 5 of them. There's a gap back then to Carl Watt and Tommy Welsh is 7th, James Lade 8th, and JJ McGing is in 9th place. A couple of places made by Roberto Minoni on the last lap as well. So Bill Basie, first on the road. He's first of the Masters drivers as well, the older drivers. He's managing to hold off Oliver Owen. Now Oliver Owen's also got a championship to consider here, because as it stands, he's going to take some good points out of Tom Snape, who's currently in 5th place. Absolutely together, the three of them. Just keep an eye on Elliot Stanley. Just a little look down the inside. Didn't make it stick and might lose that place now to Ben Gartside. He's going to. Now that's the danger here. If you make a move and don't make it stick, you lose quite a lot of momentum around this Rissington circuit. It does cost you time. And that has led to Elliot Stanley losing that 2nd place, and now he's under pressure from championship leader Tom Snape, who's back in 5th. Bill Basie is who leads. Owen is 2nd. Gartside going very well in 3rd place. As they stream through to complete another lap, we've got 5 minutes of this 8-minute plus a lap race to go. The DRS125s with their pre-final at 3:20 and their grand final this afternoon at 4:20. At the moment, Bill Basie, who's got some previous at Rissington, hasn't he? He won the DRS plate here in a one-off race at the start of the year. And he's showing great form as well. He made a super start. First couple of corners, did all his hard work. He's just about holding Oliver Owen at bay. Gartside is 3rd and looking a little bit ominous, isn't he? He's just getting ever so menacing towards 2nd place Oliver Owen, who looks over his shoulder just to check on the status of Ben Gartside. He'll see him coming, he'll be able to hear the additional engine noise of another kart in close proximity to him. There's now a gap back to Elliot Stanley and Tom Snape. Just dropped off the boil a little bit. The man on the move is Gartside, isn't he? He's got the pace here. Over the line they come. Is Oliver Owen's best form of defence to attack Firas Bill Basie? Is that the best way that he's going to keep Ben Gartside behind him? It's often the way in these closely contested DRS classes. Sometimes you have to attack or be attacked as they head down the hill towards the dogleg once more, left, and then swing towards the left-hand side, take a long right-hander on the way out. It's all downhill now towards bottom bend and middle bend, and then up towards the elbow, which is where the leader is now. He'll come through pit corner, paddock bend, and over the line to start another lap. He's got 3 minutes here to hold off not just the advances of Oliver Owen, but the advances of Ben Gartside as well in 3rd place. And if they all start to squabble, it will play into the hands of Elliot Stanley now. Stanley was up in 2nd, made a half move, didn't he, for 2nd place. Didn't quite make it stick with Oliver Owen, cost himself a handful of time. And therefore, he's now back in 4th place. Here come the leaders back up towards us here at the commentary position at Little Rissington, through the elbow. And then this long right-hander over start finish, start another lap. Fastest driver on circuit at the moment is Ethan Critchley. And I'm saying that surprise because Ethan Critchley is last of all the runners, so the man in 13th place at the moment, the 325, I think he was probably involved in those incidents in the first couple of corners. He is the fastest man on circuit at 42.6, which is a 1/10 of a second quicker than Bill Basie, Owen and Gartside in the top 3. So if Ethan Critchley can get some track position, which he certainly hasn't got at the moment, we know that he could run from a pace perspective up with these front 3, who haven't changed in the last couple of laps. They cross the line to start one more lap. How many more will we get here? 90 seconds, so probably 3 to go from this point. Will Owen have a look into the left of the loop? No, he won't. He's got Gartside right there behind him. Any mistake here from Oliver Owen in terms of an overtaking manoeuvre on Firas Bilbezi will lead to Gartside profiting from any sort of mistake from not just Oliver Owen, but from Firas Bilbezi as well. As the three of them absolutely together. Oh, a little bit slow off the dogleg from Owen. And then Gartside makes a real hash of the long left-hander at bottom bend. He got all kinds of out of shape. You can just see how much that's cost him. It's cost him 2 or 3 kart lengths. That one little mistake, it just shows you how accurate these drivers need to be, how much they need to ensure they are pinpoint perfect in terms of their accuracy, in terms of their racing lines, in terms of braking points. You make one mistake and you can spend the rest of the lap trying to make back the time that you gave to your opponents through your error. So into the dogleg they go. What have we got now? 34. So they'll probably get round one small, won't they? So there'll be 2 laps to go this time. Yeah, it will be. It'll be 2 laps to go this time. Bilbezi shakes his head. Is he just starting to feel the pressure here from Oliver Owen? They slip through the left-hander at the loop. Gartside closes back up again. So now Gartside's recovered from that little mistake a lap or 2 ago. He's got himself back in touch. Bilbezi's great off the top bend. He's fantastic at getting himself a little bit of an advantage. And here goes Gartside down the inside. So Gartside up into second. That could play into Bilbezi's hands here. If Bilbezi can put a couple of really good corners together, he'll be gone. He'll be 3 or 4 cars ahead with only a lap to go. And that move from Ben Gartside, whilst it's got him into second place, it may just have lost him the opportunity to win the race. He probably needs to put that move on a couple of laps ago. I don't think he's going to get there now. 1 lap to go. Has Gartside not only got the pace to get on terms with Bilbezi, but then find a way past? I don't think he's going to have time. That move in there, whilst it's a great move, it's a super move, moves him up to second, it loses you so much time at that place of the circuit because you're going from a really high to a low speed corner. You've got to build all that momentum back up, and he just can't get there now, can he? In fact, Owen is now pressuring Gartside to take that second place back. Bilbezi has timed this perfectly, and Gartside's done him a favour as well. He's not going to get there. It is going to be Firas Bilbezi. He did all his hard work in the first couple of corners. He's going to come through to take the first heat win. Firas Bilbezi wins then. Second place is Ben Gartside. Good drive from him, it has to be said. Third then on the road is Oliver Owen. Another handful of championship points for him, but not what he will have wanted from pole position, I'm sure. 4th, Elliott Stanley. 5th, Tom Snape. 6th, Carl Watt. 7th, Tommy Welsh. And JJ McGinn was in 8th place. And the fastest lap of the race was indeed Ethan Critchley, who finished down in 12th place at 42.565. Fastest lap of the last race. So then, that is all of our heats complete. We will now take a short break, and we'll be back with everybody just around about 2:20 this afternoon, in 40 minutes or so, to bring you the pre-finals and the grand final here at round 4 of the Daniel Ricciardo Series here at Little Rissington. So the last of the pre-final sees our DRS125s on circuit. And they'll be led by the man who won the first heat, Firas Bilbezi. Timed his attack, timed his move to hit the front with perfection. Did it in the first lap or so and was never headed since. Ben Gartside is alongside him on the front row. Championship leader Oliver Owen on the inside of the second row with Elliott Stanley next to him. And then championship, the man who he's chasing, Oliver Owen is chasing for the championship lead, Tom Snape, starts right behind him in 5th place with Carl Watt alongside in 6th. Row 4 is Tommy Welsh and JJ McGinn. Further back then, row 5. That's the DRS100 row 5, so it's definitely not they're definitely not the ones. There we go. So James Lay is on row 5 alongside Ethan Critchley. Keep an eye on Ethan Critchley, fastest lap in the last race. So certainly has the pace, but didn't have the track position. So if he can make a decent start and get amongst the front few, you would expect him to be there or thereabouts. Mark Lawrence is on the inside of row 6 with Jack Rigg alongside him. And the last row is Roberto Minoni and Kurt Fordry. They are your 14 DRS125 drivers. And they're just awaiting the green light from the start marshal. 3:20 is the off time. So any minute now, you will hear the noise of the engines being started.
Ready, guys? Wait for the flag, though.
The gate will be open and the drivers will be able to begin their formation laps. So the stream through, led by Firas Bilbezi. Sun's just popped out again. It's just become a little bit less hazy, a little bit less cloudy. Still very, very hot here. We were at 27 degrees, weren't we, when we last took a check on the conditions. We're now up to 29 degrees, so it's heading towards 30. The beginning or the middle of the UK heat wave. So here they go then to start the pre-final. Bilbezi and Gartside, 1 and 2 on the front row. He'll get the best of starts, Bilbezi, by a mile. In fact, he got the best start last time round as well, didn't he? But he certainly gets the drop this time. They all stream through the first couple of corners without any problem at all and down to the loop for the first time. So then, Gartside didn't get the best of starts. He dropped 1 place, did Gartside. I think he dropped in behind. Is it Oliver Owen or is it Tom Snape who just crept up? I think it's Oliver Owen who crept up into second place. So 8 minutes plus a lap of DRS125 action here. We're already through to complete lap number 1. Bilbezi is who leads. Second place is Oliver Owen, then Gartside, and then the number 4 of Tom Snape. Where's Elliot Stanley ended up? So Elliot Stanley is all the way back in. He's just making a move on the number 6 of Jack Rigg, but Elliot Stanley all the way down. He lost 5 places on the first lap, down to 11th place. So Elliot Stanley certainly not having the start that we've become accustomed to watching him have. The front 3 are pretty much together, aren't they? And Gartside slips to the inside. So on the right-hander at bottom bend, Gartside has moved up ahead of the number 5 of Oliver Owen, and now sets his eyes first. I mean, we did think that Gartside was probably the quickest, didn't we, in the first heat? Probably the quickest of the front 3. Just didn't get a move on Bilbezi. He's now trying around the outside into the top bend. Will he have a little look on the way into the dogleg. He won't because Bill Basie defends, but he might have a decent look on the way out. He does, he grabs alongside on the way out. There's nothing that Bill Basie will do about that. And Gartside has set him up fantastically well as he went through the dogleg. He forced Firas Bill Basie to defend the inside line, knowing that that would slow him down mid-corner, knowing that he could get the jump on him, the leap on him out of the final bend. And that's exactly what's happened. And all of a sudden, Ben Gartside is looking very strong. Even in half a lap, he's taken, what, 2-3 kart lengths on everybody else. So Gartside then now leads. Keep an eye on Ethan Critchley. Ethan Critchley is up into 6th. He's now got the fastest lap of the race so far. Not a million miles away from these lot, is he? Ahead of him. But Basie needs a reaction here. Here comes a replay here. Is this the scrap behind? It is the scrap behind, involving the likes of Tom Snape, James Lay, Oliver Owen. Because Owen has dropped back into 4th. 3:25 of Critchley. I'm just keeping an eye on his lap times every time he goes through. He did the fastest lap last time, 43.2. What's he got on offer this time round? The other driver to watch here is Tom Snape. So Snape's got past Oliver Owen, just edged onto the back of Firas Bill Basie. Critchley did a 43 flat last time, so Critchley's lapping about 3/10 quicker than everybody else out there. So before too long, if he could maintain that pace, he would get there. Certainly get there if these two continue to bump into each other, which is exactly what Oliver Owen and Tom Snape were doing. First and second in the championship, nearly ran each other off the road there as they went through the left-hander of the elbow. Worked right into the hands of Critchley though. He's now attacking Oliver Owen, and he's gone past Oliver Owen as well. This could be a real dark horse, couldn't he, here, Ethan Critchley? What he will have, if he was to stay in amongst this group, is he'll have track position, he'll have grid position for the main final this afternoon. The main final for the DRS125 is due at 4:20. Just under an hour until that race is with us. Although he's under a little bit of pressure now as Owen re-attacks him and takes that 5th place back again. Their next target is James Lay, the 306, who's in 4th place. Just spread out a little bit more than they were a few laps ago. We're over half distance here. It's going in an absolute blink of an eye. We're now 3 minutes plus that 1 lap still to go. So the battle for second between Bill Basie and Snape. Not an awful lot between them two. There's the battle behind, which includes James Lay, Oliver Owen, Ethan Critchley. As they all stream through to complete another lap, and we've got a problem for the, I think that's the, is it the 298 of Carl Watt? Sounds like an exhaust bracket had come off or come loose. Certainly some sort of exhaust problem. He will now retire from this pre-final. So no change at the front. Gartside really comfortable now. Bill Basie still got Tom Snape in behind. The real battle's in behind them. So you've got James Lay, you've got Ethan Critchley, who has now managed to make a move stick on Oliver Owen. If you can get in the top 3 or 4, Critchley, for a really interesting grand final. Absolutely fascinating stuff. So we've got 2 minutes, just give or take 2 minutes left here, plus that one final lap. Could be 3 in total. As up the hill towards the left of the elbow comes our leader. Been really comfortable, hasn't he? Ben Gartside, he'll know he's got a minute and a half to go. He'll know the distance between himself and Firas Bill Basie. He'll have been keeping tabs on that throughout. The leaders come through the dog leg. Just now heading under a minute to go. We've got a penalty for 3-1-1, which is Kurt Forger. So Kurt's all the way down in 12th place, but he's going to receive a penalty for something untoward. Here are the leaders to complete one more lap. So this will be, yeah, so they've crossed the timing before, so it'll be, it should be 2 more after this. It'll be really tight this actually, whether they get through or not. Gartside will be very keen not to get through. He'll want the time to be up by the time he gets there. That gives him just that one last lap to navigate around. If he gets there even half a second early, it'll be a full lap that he's got to do on top of that final lap. Certainly won't want that when he's out front. He's feeling under a lot of pressure, that has to be said. Second is still Firas Bilbezi. Still a strong showing, strong performance. Not actually lost that much time. They're lapping comparatively closely now. They have got through before the time was up as well. So it will be last lap next time round. So Bilbezi hasn't given that much time up to Gartside, has he? He's just sort of held a consistent gap after Gartside broke the initial talk. There's the battle for 4th, 5th and 6th. Critchley has found overall to be a really tricky character to get past and make it stick past, isn't he? So leaders are around then. Now they will start their final lap, and it is Ben Gartside who will start it. Here's the battle. So through the loop on small battle. Here's the battle for 4th, 5th and 6th, including Owen and Critchley and Lay. Lay, I think, has retaken that. Critchley was very, very wide. He made a little mistake, didn't he? Had to look over his shoulder, and now Lay starts to defend this. This is the last lap, remember, for these drivers. However, Owen down in 5th. He'll be disappointed that Tom Snape's in the battle for the lead. And he's in the 4th, 5th, 6th battle, just from a championship perspective. Ben Gartside then wins the pre-final for, it's all going on in behind, he wins the pre-final. Second place is Firas Bilbezi. Tom Snape comes through in 3rd, and then James Lay, Ethan Critchley and Oliver Owen. Ben Gartside is the provisional winner of the DRS125 pre-final. It was indeed Oliver Owen who got past James Lay and Ethan Critchley for 4th place. So Lay 5th, Critchley 6th, Roberto Manoni was in 7th place, with Elliot Stanley in 8th, Jack Rigg in 9th and JJ McGinn in 10th. So then, pre-finals are done. We've got one B-final to come in just around about 8 minutes time, and then we are into the 3 main finals of the day. So stay tuned if you're watching the live stream. We'll be back in a few moments. So our second grand final of the weekend is now, and it's the DRS125s, our senior class. I want to just grab a quick chat with a couple of drivers. We're going to head to the outside of row 3 and speak to Ethan Critchley, because he's had super pace this weekend. I'll just try and grab him for a minute. Ethan, loads of pace, not a lot of track position at the moment. A little bit better to be up here instead of where you were a bit further on. What can you do from here?
Well, yeah, we've had the pace all weekend, to be honest. Like, we were second yesterday in practice, but yeah, I think maybe a podium's possible. We'll just try and see what happens ahead of us and make our positions as quickly as possible.
And what are you seeing in terms of tyre degradation, and is it completely different out there to what it was this morning in quali? Obviously, the temperature's probably fairly similar, but it's getting a lot grippier out there, isn't it? A lot more rubber going down.
Yes, the fronts are just sliding like crazy, so there's a lot of understeer, which means the fronts are blistering like crazy. But yeah, just have to manage it and drop the pressures down a bit.
Fantastic. Wish you all the best for the grand final. We'll scoot to the front as well. We'll grab a quick chat with Ben Gartside, who's on the inside of the on the outside of the front row rather. Ben, just grab you as you put your gloves on. Loads of pace, and you turn that into some track position as well for the pre-final.
Yeah.
And from here, obviously, you've got Firaz alongside you. I suppose you're in a position where you've still got to be looking at gathering points for the championship. Still not a million miles off. Is that the main aim today? I mean, you must be thinking, one, you can win the race because you've shown that pace before. But how much is the championship in your mind as well?
I'm just trying to win, to be honest. I didn't even know I was still in the championship, so I had some pretty bad rounds. So I didn't know I had a chance, to be honest.
So win as many races as you can and see where you end up. We'll leave you there, and there's still some karts being recovered, so we'll just grab Firaz very quickly. Heat 1, fantastic, made the move really early, did the job. Pre-final ran out a little bit of pace.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I was lacking about 2 tenths, but you know, it's a long race now, and I think you know, just going to try as hard as I can.
But how important could the start be? You've still got karts on there, so we'll keep talking. How important could that start be? You get yourself out front, you've got a half a chance, haven't you? It's a long race, but you put yourself in the box seat.
Yeah, I mean, I like going on slow rolling up laps, which I know this lot hate, but to be honest, I like the cold tyres.
You get to dictate the pace as well, so we wish you all the best. So that's the view from the front of the grid. We've also got a lot of pacey, racy drivers a little bit further back. This is all teeing up to what could be an excellent DRS125 grand final. We'll be back with you in just a few moments' time. So the roar of 14 DRS125 engines on their formation lap. I'm really interested to watch this formation lap now, because Firal Bilbezi has just said how he likes to really back them up and slow this pace down. He knows they don't like it, knows that others don't like it. It's just gamesmanship. It's all part of the sport. It can certainly play to your advantage if you get things right. So he's obviously looking at this as an opportunity, being on the front row of the grid. Let's see how it develops. They are quite slow, it has to be said. Ben Gartside on the outside of the front row. Lots of pace from Ben Gartside. There's lots of pace in behind as well. There's lots of drivers that could be in this. Even back to the outside of the third row, we spoke to Ethan Critchley. He's got lots of pace. Didn't have track position. Here they come. They are slow. Looking to the lights. 12 minutes plus a lap. Now they hit the gas and they're away. Bilbezi's got the best of the start by an absolute mile. Gartside involved with Oliver Owen in a battle for second place. The rest of them all got through as they stream down towards the loop for the first time. It's Bilbezi who leads from the front. Second place, Oliver Owen, then Ben Gartside. As they stream down now towards the dogleg for the first time. No overtaking maneuvers, 1 or 2, just having a little look down the inside as they continue. Under investigation 5 and 4. So Oliver Owen and Tom Snape both under investigation. Must be something to do with the start. Got to be. So Bilbezi is who leads. Now we spoke to Firaz on the dummy grid there. And I was sort of teeing him up to say how important the start was, because he dealt with the start in the first heat really, really well. He did his work early, gathered a little gap, he was consistent. And he's sort of done the same here, hasn't he? He's sort of tried to mimic what had worked for him, and it certainly did work for him. And now he's got a gap over Oliver Owen. Oliver Owen's got to worry about Ben Gartside, who's behind him. The more that these two fight over second and third, and that's what they are doing at the moment, by the way, as Gartside drops into second place, the more Bill Beasley will get away. Now, the threat to Firas now is Ben Gartside, because we know he has pace. Now, where is Ethan Critchley in all this? Now, here's the move for second place. It was a little bit leisurely, wasn't it? Oh, was there a bit of contact there? I was going to say it was very forgiving from Oliver Owen. He didn't put up much resistance. Where was Ethan Critchley? He was all the way down in 9th place last time round. So Ethan Critchley's had a shocker of the start, and when we were talking to Ethan about not having track position, and there's contact between a couple in the dogleg as well, that may well have been Ethan Critchley involved at the same time. So when we were talking about Ethan about not having track position, he then gets himself involved in a couple of scraps in the opening lap, and he certainly hasn't got track position. So unfortunately, all Ethan Critchley's pace is being put to waste at the moment, because he's all the way down in 10th place. We've got a battle though for the lead, because Gartside has cruised up rather predictably onto the back of Firas Bilbezi. Gartside then second at the moment, but he's there, isn't he? He's within striking range, striking distance of Firas Bilbezi. Battle behind is between Owen and Snape, and they're the front two in the championship as well, so keep an eye on those two. Wouldn't it be good if all four of these came together and we had a real scrap on our hands? I think Bilbezi has to keep Gartside behind. I think he's got to go on the defensive now to give himself the best. He'll know that he hasn't got the pace. He'll know that Gartside has more speed than him. So if he can keep him behind, if he can make no mistakes, if he can go a bit on the defensive, that's probably his best chance. What it also does is it also raises our interest, because it means that we could end up with a 4, 5, 6 car battle for the lead here, because it will allow your Owens and your Snapes and your James Lays, Tommy Welsh, they'll all become involved in this if we back the grid up a little bit. At the moment, Bilbezi, big handful of understeer for Firas Bilbezi there. He is struggling to get this DRS kart to do what he wanted to do. It's been a long, hot day for those Vega tyres. And the other thing to consider is Firas Bilbezi, we should have spoke to him on the grid. If he weren't rushed, we would have done, about the length that his tyres have already done, because I think his tyres have done probably 5 or 6 laps more than most. They've certainly done more than Elliott Stanley, certainly done more than Tom Snapes, because they came in from... Oh, Gartside's got through. So now there's a big risk to the rest of them. So Bilbezi's either got to attack quickly, or the rest of them need to dispatch of Firas Bilbezi as well to get after Ben Gartside. Has Bilbezi got anything left in the tank to get on terms with Gartside? He really needs to attack and keep himself in this race here. There's the move on down the inside into bottom bend. And he could disappear, couldn't he? Owen has to get past Bilbezi quickly. He's going to give himself a chance. Or Snape needs to get past the pair of them if he's going to give himself a chance, because look at Gartside already, just stretching away, just gently stretching away from Firas Bilbezi at the front of this field. Into the right-hander and then down towards the loop once more. Now, all that Firas is doing at the moment is backing the rest of them up. He's backing them in to allow Gartside to get away. So he either needs to find a couple of attempts himself to go and attack Gartside, which is all he'd need. Even though a tenth a lap more would get him on terms. Owen's made a mistake there, hasn't he? Yeah, so Owen makes a mistake. Snape is then through. Or Tom Snape needs to dispatch of Firas Bilbezi as quickly as he possibly can do. Get after Ben Gartside. Has he got the pace? I'm not sure he has, based on what we've seen so far today. So there's the mistake from Owen. Just got a little bit tight, a little bit narrow into the corner. Sacrificed a lot of exit speed. Not what he would have wanted. To be down in fourth. A little bit of pressure from behind as well from Late in 5th place. Late Stanley's down in 7th. Let's just see where the gaps are. So he's not running away, isn't Ben Gartside, but he's putting enough distance between himself. I think he's consistently a 10th or so quicker than the drivers behind. He was 2/10 quicker on that last lap. He's worked an 8/10 advantage between himself and Firas Bilbez. That's what I was saying about Firas just needing to hold him off for a few more laps. Bring others into play, then it could get really messy behind him. Would have given him a better chance. James Lay's in 5th. Tommy Welsh into 6th. Elliot Stanley is now 7th, and Jack Wood, Ethan Dixon's recovered up to 9th, and then Carl Watt and Mark Lawrence not had the weekend that he would have wanted in 11th place at the moment. Roberto Manoni was the driver who was a retirement at the far end of the circuit. And Critchley up one more into 8th on that last lap. Gap is still 9/10 between Gartside and Bilbezi. So Snape, who's doing about the same lap times as Ben Gartside, has to find a way through. He's going to force the issue here. He's managed to get up onto the back of Firas Bilbezi. I'm not sure he would have he probably needs 2/10 a lap, doesn't he? Over Ben Gartside to close this gap. I'm not sure he's got that kind of pace, Tom Snape. The only way we would find out is if he managed to get past Firas Bilbezi and managed to get onto a chase with our race leader, our pre-final winner as well, Ben Gartside. Said he didn't think he was in the championship hunt. Let's see if we can find the championship standings and have a look. Where Ben Gartside is. And he's had some really strong races this season. Probably had a little bit of inconsistency. That's probably why he doesn't think. But he does get to drop his worst rounds, remember. So from a championship perspective, he's currently in 5th place. But he won at round 3. Yeah, he's absolutely well in it. He's telling me he's not in the championship. He's got about 37 points to catch up. Well, you could do that in one weekend for sure. And he will have claimed an awful lot of points, especially over the likes of Snape and certainly Mark Lawrence. He'll have picked up loads of points on Mark Lawrence there. He'll pick good points up with Jack Wood. I won't be surprised if Gartside finds himself in the top 3 after today's points haul is all put together. I think he's absolutely in the championship hunt at the moment and showing this sort of pace as well. Why not? Why not indeed? Still 3 rounds of the Daniel Ricciardo Series still to go. Now, interestingly, Firas Bilbezi's just done his fastest lap of the race so far. He's reduced the deficit by about 1/10 of a second. Has he got a late spring in his step? Has he got a surprise up his sleeve? Could he come back at Ben Gartside? What Ben Gartside does know is that he can't make a mistake. One mistake from Ben Gartside, he would have Bilbezi very, very keen in behind him to make a move. We go through the left-hander of the elbow and then head back towards us here. The gap was what, 8/10 of a second? What is it now? 7/10 of a second. So he's taken another 10th out of him on that last lap. It's a good lap as well for Tom Snape. So Gartside, Bilbezi, Snape, Owen, Lay, Welsh, Stanley, Critchley, Watt and Lawrence. They are the top 10 of this DRS125 Grand Final. There is approximately 1:40 seconds to go here. So we haven't got a lot of time. These two are getting slightly closer, you know. 7/10 last time round. What is it now? It's exactly the same, 7/10. They've pretty much done identical lap times last time round. I just think there might be a little bit of hope here. Firas Bilbez, if he's got a couple of unbelievable laps of your life type laps, could get there, couldn't he? Could get within striking distance and then have just a dive somewhere. Yeah, that's perfect. My trained eye tells me that he's just a little bit closer than he was on the last one. So there we go. I think he's getting there. I think Firas Bilbez is just starting to believe a little bit in the closing stages here. He's going to have 2 more laps after this one. The gap is down, no doubt about it now. What's the gap now? Half a second. It is coming down. He took 2 tenths. Has Firas Bilbez got an absolute grandstand finish for us here? Because he is reeling in Ben Gartside. I wonder if they've set Ben Gartside's car up to come on strong for 10-lap races, and all of a sudden we're in a 12-minute race. And is he starting to go off? The gap's now, what, 4 kart lengths? One big push from Firas Bilbez and he would get there. This could be a cracker. If you're in your awning or you're watching the live stream, do not go away from this. Do not go and make a cup of tea now, because these two, with 1 lap to go, are pretty much together. There's about 2 tenths in it, 3 tenths in it. Needs a lap of your life then, Firas. What have you got? Give yourself half a chance. Oh, is it a little mistake from Ben Gartside as well? The pressure's just told. Little mistake through the left-hander at the loop. He's about a kart length away. Firas, have you got a big lunge then into the elbow, into the dog leg? No, he's not quite going to get there, is he? He's half a kart length away. He's probably just recovered enough. Has Ben Gartside, but what an effort from Firas Bilbez. He's closed and closed and closed and closed. Just forced a little error, but to be fair to Ben Gartside, he gathered himself together. He composed himself and he comes through to win the grand final of the DRS125 here at round 4 of the Daniel Ricciardo Series at Rissington. It's a win for Ben Gartside. Second place, Firas Bilbez, a very honourable effort as well. Came on really strong at the end. Tom Snake came home in 3rd place. Welcome to the trophy presentation for round 4 of the Daniel Ricciardo Series here at Little Rissington. We will start with the DRS125 drivers, our senior category today. And in 3rd place, number 4, Tom Snape. In 2nd place, and our grandmaster for the day as well, the DRS plate of Firas Bilbez. And today's winner, the number 183 of Ben Gartside. Ladies and gentlemen, the DRS125 top 3. On to our DRS 100s and the winner of the B final today, the number 128, Oscar Walmsley Jones. And into the main grand final, our top rookie today, 12th place finish for number 162, Cassidy Southall. And today's top 3 then, in 3rd place, number 9, Daniel Weir. for the first time this season, not on the top step of the podium, but a great drive nonetheless from number 3, Maximilian Salarski. And today's winner went off from the front and was never headed. It's the DRS plate of Freddie Cox. Our DRS 100 top 3, everyone. And our DRS 62s. First of all, our DRS 62 Academy drivers, our top 3. Third place, 9th overall for 136, Oscar Roach. And second of our DRS Academy drivers, an 8th place overall finish for Aston Redpath. And our DRS 62 Academy winner, a super drive into 5th overall for the DRA plate of Bailey Wolf. The DRS Academy top 3. And finally, our DRS Supers, probably the closest weekend of racing we've had for DRS Supers for some time. And in 3rd place overall, the number 5 of Nat Johnston. Second place in a really closely run final. Just didn't get there in the end. The DRS plate of Jack Robinson. And today's DRS 62 super winner, the number 3 of Oscar Walsh. The DRS 62s. And that's a wrap from us here at round 4 of the Daniel Ricciardo Series here at Little Rissington. We'll take our summer break and be back in a month's time at round 5 in the south of Wales at Landau. We'll see you there.